Hey guys, so in today's video I'll be comparing the Mondito Black Diamond Chalk Pot to the Mondo Black Diamond Chalk Pot. So before I begin, I'd like to let you guys know that I'm not a professional climber or anything, so don't take my review to heart. I just wanted to make this review because I thought it'd be helpful for people who are deciding which one to buy. I think both of them are really good, both for like different styles or different like preferences, so I'll get into that later. But I'm just going to show you guys the differences between the two because clearly there are differences, and then also I'll show you guys like what I put in them. So yeah, so starting off with the Mondito chalk pot here, as you can see on the front there is one pocket, zipper pocket right here. On the back there is one brush holder, and then for the closure here it is a normal type of closure, only with a buckle to close. There's no magnets up here, so that's like a good thing to note. I'll show you it compared to the Mondo chalk pot, but for now this is what it looks like compared to my hand. And yeah, I got this one in like a gray color. I don't remember exactly what the name is, but this one is roughly $20, I believe. So yeah, keep that in mind. So next is the Mondo chalk pot here. So as we can see on the front, there is a pretty big zippered pocket here. On the back, there's also a zippered pocket here. And there are two brush holders. One is for a smaller brush and one is for a larger brush, as you can see. For the closure here, we have magnets on the closure, so, and there are two tabs here along with the buckle, so it closes kind of on its own, as you can see. This like prevents a ton of chalk from coming out, you know, in case it spills, which is definitely a feature I like. Alright, so this is me comparing them to each other here. Alright, so I'll be comparing them to each other right now. So as you can see, the sizes are, you know, pretty different, I'd say. The Mondo is pretty big compared to the Mondito. There definitely are differences I'd like to go through. So I'm just going to give you views of the front and the sides. So here's my hand compared to the Mondo. Wait, here it is. All right. And as you can see, the Mondito is kind of more of a personal type of chalk pot, while the Mondo is more of like a regular, typical chalk pot or chalk bag or chalk bucket that you'd see like around the gym. Alright, so these are the side views. As you can see, the Mondo is definitely wider than the Mondito, but not by much. But overall, like, the Mondo is definitely like quite a bit bigger than the Mondito, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, so moving on, as you've seen from earlier before, there's definitely like some key differences that kind of explain the price range between them. So the Mondo being $30 while the Mondito being $20. As you can see, the top of the Mondo is magnetic. I definitely opt for something that is magnetic and has a magnetic closure at the top because it just makes carrying it around much easier. The Mondito right here, you can see, has no magnetic closure, and actually while I was carrying it in my bag, it kind of spilled a little bit despite me rolling it up. It could just be a user error, but I do think that with the magnetic closure, it does just make it safer, I guess. And also, like, you don't really have to worry about it in case you spill it or drop it over. So yeah, so moving on, the material of each are kind of different. So since this is repo, I did get this in the blue color online. However, as you can see, it is different from what the website shows. I don't really mind it though because I do like the colors, but just keep that in mind when you buy it. The texture here is a little bit different compared to the textures here. again, that's not really much to worry about, honestly. It's kind of nice. For here on the Mondito pot, they are both the same textures, probably because, you know, it's not repo. But honestly, the textures and the fabrics don't really matter that much. But if you do find that a factor, please remember that. All right, so next thing is the pockets here. This one has 2 pockets, as I mentioned before. This one only has 1. The pockets are different sizes, and I have an iPhone 15 Pro and like a pretty thin case. It does fit in the Mondito pocket here, but it is pretty snug. Whereas it does fit in the Mondo here, and it has, you know, room to wiggle around and all that. So that is definitely something to think about when you want to buy one. If I'm going bouldering, you know, just going to the bouldering gym, I would just bring like my chalk bot and like my phone and, you know, some other stuff. So I think it is important for me that I could fit my phone in the pocket, which is really great because it does fit in here. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, so for the backs here, honestly, like, I wouldn't really say that it matters that there are 2 on here and 1 on here, but if you're really, you know, wanting to bring multiple brushes, definitely opt for this one. I just have 2 brushes because I wanted different sizes, but, you know, this one works great. It fits pretty much all sizes, I would say, and you know, it doesn't really matter too much. But if that is something that matters to you, I would look into the Mondo if you want to add more brushes. So yeah. All right, so moving on to what I keep in them. So for the Mondito here, I just keep chalk in it. I would keep a chalk depist in here as well. However, I moved it all over to the Mondo pot because I think I will be using the Mondo one. In here, I keep band-aids, and that's pretty much it. For the Mondo here, I would generally put more because I will be using this one to go bouldering. So I have 2 brushes here. Inside, I have chalk and a chalk depist. I also have band-aids, and I would typically keep my phone, maybe tape, my wallet, and like nail clippers maybe. So yeah. Okay, something I would also keep in mind is that if you're gonna do like how I am and bring all these things to just bouldering and not bring like another bag, I would note that this one does carry it all that I mentioned in the pockets, while this one does not. So you might want to think about that when you buy one of these. All right, so because of my preference and the things that I need when I go bouldering, I would definitely opt for the Mondo chalk pot. However, if you just like to travel, or if you like to, you know, carry a lot of things, or maybe you're just putting this in your backpack, or maybe just want a smaller type of personal chalk bucket, I would definitely go for the Mondito. Really, it's kind of up to you guys on what you guys prefer and what you guys want. And also, there are different colors for both of these models of chalk pots. So, you know, that's also definitely something to think about. For the price range, there's like a $10 price difference. So, you know, that's also something to keep in mind. I really just thought that it was worth it for the magnetic closure on the Mondo one, but it's really up to you guys. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I hope this helped, and stay tuned for the next video.